Not me looking like a flotation device. Welcome back to my channel. I am your favorite mama of three, Bougie Vintage, and today's video is a story time. This is about to be a mini series, so it's going to be more than one part, so prepare yourself for the cliffhangers, but it will not be as long as the Tasmanian Devil series, I promise, okay? Now, this series is, of course, surrounding my psychotic ex-husband, and I know you're probably sat there like, girl, really? More? Yes, more, because of course this is a developing story, as the news reporters would say. Now, I don't want to cause any confusion, so obviously in the past, when you were first introduced to my ex-husband, his name on my channel was Shooter. That was his preferred nickname. But then once I left him, we began calling him Chucky, and now we are referring to him, as it says on his Newfoundland birth papers, Jacob. Now, just when you think it can't get any crazier, that there couldn't possibly be more to unfold in this saga, here I come, strolling along or floating along in my flotation device with more to add. But before we get into the newest set of events that took place literally within the last 3 weeks, I want to bring your attention to something super duper important. I wanted to bring your attention to something called the Diva Group. The Diva Group is a domestic violence awareness group. The Diva Group is a digital outreach platform. Diva, DVA, stands for Domestic Violence Awareness. Now, of course, I wanted it to have a play on words, so that's why I'm pronouncing it Diva and not saying the DVA group. When you hear the word Diva, you think powerful, you think strength, you think a woman of excellence. And so after going through my obviously tumultuous relationship, it dawned on me that so many women out there that not only watch my channel, but that don't watch my channel were going through the same things that I was going through. And I wanted to create an organization that could help women and children get to safety. My goal with the Diva Group is to provide a safe space for women and their children, because there are so many people out there seeking help, deliverance, healing, and of course safety from their toxic or narcissistic or abusive relationships and households. Now, of course, I am not starting this alone. This is a platform that I have been working with my moderators in my Discord to come up with, and they have been superstars. Oh my gosh, they have been just amazing running my Discord in general, but also when it came to coming up with something to help women like myself, or like some of the women that are in my Discord. We really decided to put this organization together because there are too many women out here that are struggling in these relationships, and a lot of them have no idea that they're even in one of these relationships. Since the Diva Group is a digital outreach platform, there will be a Discord server attached to it, but you do not need to be a member to join this Discord platform, because this is a non-profit organization that is going to be there to help support women of all walks of life. Now, in order to get in touch with the Diva Group, you will obviously need to reach out to us via email. That way you can get an invite to the Discord server, because it is, like I said, invite only. That will help to protect the identities of the people that are joining, so you don't have to comment in the comment section like, I want to join the Diva Group, I'm going through this, that, or the third. You can send us an email, and the email will be in the description box below. Now, this is 100% funded by myself, okay? And so I am open to donations, girl, okay? I'm not saying no to no type of coin when it comes to this organization. Obviously, I will not be pocketing any of it because I have a job, but because I am going to be hopefully helping a lot of women. If you would like to help the cause, then you can surely reach out to the Diva Group and let us know what you would like to contribute, and we will figure that out with you. Lastly, if you are not in a domestic violence situation, please respect the Diva Group and do not try to join the Discord if you are not needing the resources. The other side of that is, if you would like to help we would love a volunteer or two. So come on down to The Price is Right, you know. Aside from that, if you are a therapist, if you are a social worker, if you are a doctor, if you know a doctor or a therapist or a social worker, or if you're just like a good Samaritan and just want to lend a helping hand, please reach out to the Diva Group. I want to get into this video, so everything you need to know will be in the description box below. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can obviously just shoot us an email at thedivagroup@gmail.com. That being said, we've seen it 100 times before. When you leave one of these relationships, a lot of the time it never ends. The abuse, it doesn't end unless your abuser somehow ends up dead. It's harsh, but it's true. And this is because the narcissist is always going to be seeking revenge. A narcissist will spin the block on you a million different times, trying to get a reaction out of you, trying to get a response out of you, trying to open that door for contact. And baby, if you ever open that door for contact, you're in for a long, hard ride. It's my belief that the narcissist becomes like the devil. They seek to steal, kill, and destroy, and they will stop at nothing to accomplish that goal. And so if that was not the case, then I wouldn't be sat here in front of you today. But that is precisely why I am sat here in front of you today, because that is the stage that we are at. The last thing you guys knew was that my ex was going around online saying that I was going to prison for 10 years, that I kidnapped my kids, and that the Jamaica warrant was about to go crazy. The thing is, I left out a lot of stuff. Okay, so I know I've made a lot of videos, but I have tiptoed around a lot of issues. When I did the video about losing custody and I was wearing the green outfit, if you recall in that video, I said, I don't have a script, because typically when I make a long video like this, I need a script. I need point form notes so that I don't forget any details, because these things that happen to me are just so out of the freaking ordinary. I don't want to miss anything. Today is not like that. Today I'm not going off top, okay? I'm not freestyling it. I'm not just, you know, allowing the Holy Spirit to lead me, guide me, and speak through me. Today I had to make my notes this time around because there's a lot more information that I need to deliver before we get to the kicker, which would obviously be the title of this video. That being said, I want to take you guys back to a few months ago, before my ex even ever sent his first tweet regarding the situation. I want to take you guys back to when I was still in Canada. However, it was around the time that I was officially allowing God to just lead me to my promised land. My promised land being my country of origin, Jamaica. So in March, right after I got back from Jamaica, from a 2-week trip looking for a new home for me, my mother, and my children, I was of course served with an affidavit. On another day and another time, we can sit and read out the whole entire affidavit, and in fact we can read out as many affidavits as you guys would like. But today I just want to highlight a few key points in this affidavit in particular that I was served with in March. The first thing was that my ex, Mr. Jacob, wanted full custody. He wanted sole decision-making custody, okay? And that was crazy to me, because I was trying to piece together why somebody that severely neglected and ignored and mistreated the children would want sole and decision-making custody of them outside of just being in control. In this affidavit, my ex was demanding that my children live with him and visit me. So typically in a situation like this, you see the children living with their mother and visiting their father. Okay, in a regular situation, no abuse, no restraining orders, none of that. Like in a regular situation where two parents separate, divorce, whatever, you see usually kids live with their mom and go visit their father if that's what needs to happen. But in this affidavit, it was stating that I would only have visitation and that I would have them on like even yeared holidays. So next year is 2024, I would have them on that Christmas or that Easter of that year, and he would have them on odd holidays, but he would have them for the year. Like he would have them regularly, and they would come visit me, I think every other Friday to Sunday or some BS like that, right? It was crazy, especially because this was coming from somebody that had missed Salem's first birthday, Nola's first birthday, and there was another birthday missed, but that was under a different set of circumstances. Bellamy's birthday was missed, but this was right before the restraining order, and also when I pulled a him on him. And so pretty much I gave him a taste of his own medicine. I disappeared, okay? And he couldn't reach me the same way I couldn't reach him for weeks, right? And so he didn't like that too much. And unfortunately for me, that's when he started to claim I was alienating him from the children, because the week that I disappeared happened to be the week after my birthday, which was the week of Belle's birthday. Prior to me disappearing, I had been begging him to contact the children. Please call them. Why aren't you calling them? 5 minutes, like just give them a FaceTime call, like anything like that. And it was, he can't, he has a job, he's not like me, yada yada yada. You guys already know this part, we're not gonna rehash it, blah 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 blah. And so I just pulled him on him. Unfortunately, it did fall on, you know, Belle's birthday, and it was hard for me to not answer the phone that day because I felt horrible doing it. You know, I felt really really bad not answering the phone. But it was like before Belle's birthday, there was no phone calls, there was no text. There was no even checking in on them, like nothing. And so I was like, you can't be some popcorn popping up when you feel like it and giving inconsistency. And that was really my whole point. And so my point was made, but instead of him acknowledging that he was being neglectful by not contacting them every day or even every other day, you know what I mean? Like, you just don't disappear on them, because at the end of the day, it was like he was pretty much like a ghost in the house when we were together, and but the children obviously knew him, you know what I mean? And so their lives were changing. And at the time, in my opinion, I didn't feel like they should be absent in, you know, body and in phone call. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like it was so necessary for them to have constant contact so that they would develop a relationship with him, because I was actually hoping that because we were broken up, that their relationship would get better, but that's not what happened. I don't know why that was my logic, girl math, I guess, but like, that's not what happened, girl. It got worse. Now, because my kids were so used to not talking to him, it didn't really register to a 3-year-old that she didn't get a phone call on her birthday because she's 3, you know what I mean? But like, that was their norm. So we had gone on about our day. He never sent a gift or anything. Like, it was just a regular freaking day for us, and we had fun. We had a cake. Oh, you guys actually saw the cake. It was the LOL doll cake on my TikTok. That's when that happened. But outside of that, this affidavit was saying that I needed to be the one to FaceTime call my children because they would be living with him on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and calls lasting for a minimum of 10 minutes. And I'm sat there like thinking, like, why is this man doing this? Like, he couldn't stand the kids. If they cried, he got a migraine. Why is he putting in an affidavit that he wants them to live with him when he never lived with them when he lived in the house? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, is that not a little crazy? And so I'm like behooved, because I'm like, you cannot not be home, not be present for 5 years, okay? Or at this point, say it was 5. You can't not be present for 5 years because you had better things to do and you just wanted to ignore everybody. And then all of a sudden you want sole custody, and not only sole custody, but decision making. Like, I was cackling, okay? When I was reading it, I was like cackling, because I'm like, this is not real. Like, I'm living in the freaking Twilight Zone. I was behooved. And so one of the even bigger reasons that I was behooved was because this was the person that tried to groom me into normalizing squishing his you-know-what, okay? So hand on the phone, one hand would be on the phone, and the other hand in the pants, constantly just squeezing the tip, squishing it, I don't know why, and I never normalized it. And so this had gone on for years, like even before I had kids, and I would always be like, you're so disgusting. Like, I would physically take the hand out of the pants because I was just like, this is not normal. And then I'd be like, I have uncles, I got a dad, I might not have a brother, but I got cousins, I have had boyfriends, nobody. And when I say nobody, I'm not talking about your hand in your waistband for comfort. I'm talking about squishing and squeezing, constantly has the literal dick in the hands. And I was just disgusted by it. Like, I shouldn't have to tell a grown person to go wash their hands. I shouldn't have to remove somebody's hand. And so it didn't matter where he was. He could be in my bed, my children's bed, or on the couch. That's where his hand was. And I was just disgusted and repulsed by it. And because he spent so much time doing that and trying to normalize it, it was just out in the open. The only person I didn't see him do it in front of was my mom. And so I found it strange. and weird, and that's why I put cameras in my children's room, because I was concerned that his hand was always in there. What are you doing? Because he tried to groom me for so long to normalize that behavior and it didn't work. When I'm reading this affidavit that my kids are going to go live over there, or he is demanding that they live over there with him and his girlfriend, I'm like, yeah, are you smoking crack? Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, that was a no-go for me. Absolutely the frig not. The affidavit did not end there. Of course it didn't. It was so long. There were so many points on this affidavit. But for the man that I had grown to know, I wasn't surprised or shocked by the affidavit. Because it was ballsy. It was audacious. It was delusional, you know? And that's who I had grown to know. So I wasn't surprised by this affidavit. But when I got to line 8, that's really when my brain started to like turn into freaking mush, okay? On line 8 of this affidavit, it stated that I, by vintage, needed to be paying him $1,920 Canadian in child support. Me pay him child support? Sir, what is going on? And this figure, this $1,920 figure, was based on an assumed income of $100,000 per year. Okay, this is what him and his lawyer had come up with, that I was making $100,000 per year, which was not based on fact, baby. Just vibes. Just vibes at a calculator, okay? Like, they just made up this number out of the thin air, okay? They assumed I was making that much money, and we're saying that the kids needed to live with him and that I needed to pay him child support. And at this point, I'm like puzzled. It's just like, I haven't received any child support. It's not like we're like flipping it and reversing it. Like, I haven't received not $1 from him at this point when I'm receiving this affidavit. And at this point, I think I had left him, I think it had been like a year since I had left when I was receiving this, and I hadn't received any money from him. And so I'm sat there like, wait, what is this I'm reading? So I'm literally in my basement screaming, okay? I am cackling, I'm rolling on the floor, rolling my dairy on jeans off, okay? Like, that's what it was giving. And I kid you not, I was actually laughing because I couldn't believe that a lawyer really sat there, a black woman sat there and wrote this out. She wrote this out. I get it, she was just doing her job. But I was just like, ma'am, sir, y'all are smoking dick. You really are. It gets better, okay? It gets better. Let's move on to line 9 in this affidavit. Line 9 in the affidavit stated that I, again, Miss Bow Vintage, needed to pay my ex-husband damages for libel and slander. Baby, I ain't lied on you yet. I ain't told a lie yet on this man. Libel and slander. Libel and slander, girl. Yo. So I'm rolling around. I'm kicking my feet. I'm rolling around the ground because it's just like, I know this man did not put this in this damn affidavit. So I'm sat there trying to catch my damn breath from laughing so damn hard because the delusion was out of this world. And I'm sat there like scratching my head. Like, really? They really put this in here? He knows I ain't lied on him. His lawyer doesn't know the difference, right? You know, he's great at playing the victim. So it's just like, you know I haven't lied on you. Why are you saying I owe you money for libel and slander? And is this about the children? Or is this about how much fatter you can make your pockets off of this black woman? What's tea? Obviously, if 8 and 9 were this ridiculous, what do you think 10 and 11 were? The 10th line on this affidavit said that I needed to remove any and all pictures, videos, and other content that relates to him from my YouTube, or my Instagram, Facebook, girl, whatever platforms that I had anything to do with him on. I needed to remove the content. Baby, you don't run this show. I'm gonna keep up whatever the frig I want to keep up, and ain't nobody coming to see you anyway, Otis, so don't flatter yourself. Like, remove content? This is getting a little crazy because in one breath they're saying I need to give him money for these contents, but in another breath they're telling me I need to remove the content. Y'all need to make up your mind. This is insane. But moving right along to line 11, because at line 11 is when me and my ancestors We're seasoning the dirt, okay? We got out the McCormick, we got out the Lowry's, and we started just seasoning the dirt because, baby, what are you saying? What are you saying? Line 11 said, and I quote, "The respondent mother shall provide an accounting of all profits earned in relationship to her YouTube channel, Cosmoholics Anonymous, and shall pay the applicant father for his share in the business." Girl. At this point, I need to sue him for libel and slander, because what are you saying? In the comment section below, please tell me at which point did this man ever have a share in my business? What work did he put in my business? Do y'all know the answer? Please leave it in the comment section below, because I'm puzzled, baby. When I read that line, I was cackling. Like, literally, like, huh? What? The male menace strikes again. Share in my business. I have a question that needs an answer. If I am the business, how do you have a share in me? That would make you a pimp, sir. Like, oh wait. Oh, well, it is what it is. But you cannot have a share in a person, and Cosmoholics Anonymous is a person. So share in my business. Is it not true that I gave that male menace a freaking platform filled with thousands of my subscribers? Is it not true that when I provided this platform for him, I did not require not $1. I didn't make him rent my equipment. In fact, I was the one editing the videos. A lot of times it was my money providing the groceries for the content. So I'm perplexed. I'm like, I didn't ask you for $1 from that channel. Belongs to me. If we're being real. Like, so why would he be saying that I owe him any money from any shares in Cosmoholics Anonymous? You have a channel that you could easily make money off of. So I never asked for no money. I didn't say, oh, when you make your first video, you need to give me half of the money. For what? I'm like everybody eats, baby. Okay, I'm a giver and a gifter. And the truth of the matter is, yes, I gave him a career on and off camera, baby, because as the last time I checked, it was my mama that made that resume so that he could get a job when I was first pregnant with Salem. Because up until then, he was living off a disability because he had been shot in the leg. Okay, didn't want to work, just wanted to cook, and play video games in my videos, in the background of my videos, all damn day long. Not working, staying on the couch. But then got up and got his butt in school because I said something to him that was offensive, which was, you're starting to remind me of my father because you're just on the couch all the time. And it wasn't to be offensive, it was the truth, and I was triggered by it. And so he was angry and got off his butt and went to school to make something of himself and ended up in a career because there was only two things that he was interested in, which was eating and playing video games. Well, he couldn't become a graphic designer, so the only other option was to go to school for food, for culinary, and that's what he did. And who helped him through that? Who helped him do his assignments? Everything that that man had while he was with me was literally handed to him on a silver platter. Okay, I did my damnedest and my best to make sure that he elevated, and this is what I get for putting you on. Is this what I get? We'll never do it again. Oh my Jesus, this ain't right, child. Imagine the audacity of this man to come and say that he is owed shares. I'm sorry, I didn't know it was Walt Disney. Ain't no shares in Cosmoholics Anonymous, sir. Ain't no shares. This was my own fault because his mother had warned me about the entitlement that he had from the time he was a child, when he was mad at her for selling her house and not giving him a cut from her and her ex-boyfriend's money from the house. You are 13. Like, what are you doing, sir? How much you want? 1,000? A couple 100,000? Like, what is going on? I could not imagine one of my kids telling me that I sold my house so they need some money from it, like from the sale of the house. Did you buy the house? I should have known, girl. But let me not get off topic, because in this very same affidavit, as you can see, the affidavit is ridiculous, but in this very same affidavit, it stated that I, the woman who is self-employed, the woman who has been self-employed since pretty much the damn beginning of time. It said that I needed to ensure that I take out health insurance benefits for the children of the marriage. Now, I was really scratching my head at this one because when I was married, I was on my ex's health benefits at work. Now, the access to those benefits got revoked 0.0000005 seconds after I left his butt, which meant I no longer had access. I couldn't log in. I couldn't do anything. But like, my children were on there as well. I don't know if they were removed too, because like I said, I didn't have access to it, but they were on there. So when I'm reading this in the affidavit, I'm like, well, they're on his health benefits. Why would I need to take? He gets them through his work. He works at a big company that have great benefits, and the children are on the benefits. Why does now I need to come out of pocket and pay for health benefits when they're already covered under his health benefits? And according to this affidavit, he was wanting them to live with him. Why does he need me to take out health benefits for them? That's so weird. So even if I was no longer on his health benefits, why would my children not have been on his health benefits for him to be putting in this affidavit that I need to make sure that I have health benefits for the children? Unless, of course, the plan was to collect the $1,920 from me for child support, or should I say alimony, because we damn sure know it wasn't going to go to the kids, then collect another big check for baby bonus. Okay, because he's lying about his income. So if he were to collect baby bonus, he would get even more than I get. And then, of course, the back pay from Cosmoholics Anonymous shares. And then on top of that, the money in damages for libel and slander. Oh, he's Kevin Federline and I'm bald ass Britney Spears. So pretty much that's why I would need to get health benefits for the children, because he was going to just be at home not working, sat on his fat ass doing nothing, collecting money, laughing to the bank, while I was over there at the plantation picking cotton and making sure that my kids are straight. Because obviously, what would I have done in that situation, right? Would I be a deadbeat mom and not provide a red cent for the children? Or would I provide for my kids and, hope they had the best life possible? And so he was trying to back me into a corner. This is another example of how these narcissistic ass men will pimp out their own children, because narcissists don't see people as people. They don't treat people like people. They treat people as supplies. And so my children are ultimately a great supply for my ex. People like this, and it's not just men, because there's mothers like this as well that get supply from their children and order their kids around or pimp their kids out or use their kids for something. You know what I mean? Like, for me, if my baby bonus stops, which it will, because my ex has tried to ensure that happens. When my baby bonus stops, I'm not going to be like, here, take the children. I just needed them for the money. What? This is a thankless job, okay? Y'all see my Instagram name? I don't get paid enough for this. You cannot pay a good mom, to be a mom. There's no amount of money in the world that could make a good mother be a mother. A mom is just going to be a mom because she loves to be a mom, period. Now, despite all this, despite the fact that lines 8 through 14, lines 8 through 14 was riddled with tomfoolery, and I was cackling because I thought it was hilarious. Once I got to line 15, baby, do you think I was laughing anymore? No, it wasn't funny. Line 15 is when all of my laughter stopped, because I realized, oh, he's serious. And so at line 15, it read, the respondent mother shall obtain and maintain a life insurance policy in the minimum amount of $300,000, naming the applicant father as an irrevocable beneficiary. Now, this made the hairs on the back of my neck stand up, because first of all, I already had life insurance, but he damn sure wasn't on it. And he damn sure would never be no damn irrevocable beneficiary, because I knew what he was capable of. And so when I read this, I said, oh, so he's plotting to kill me, okay? Allegedly. He's plotting to kill me. He finna send somebody over here, in here, do something to me, child. Minimum $300,000. Okay, where's your life insurance policy where I'm the irrevocable beneficiary? Like, why is this one of the demands? So I'm scared, because I'm just like, oh, no. Keep in mind, I'm getting this on like March something, right? Like early March, because I got back from Jamaica on March 2nd, right? And so I'm getting this early March. I already found my place. I know I'm moving to Jamaica. So when I get this affidavit, that's a big part of the reason why I'm laughing, because I know God has led me out of here. Okay, baby, I am Moses. The children are the Israelites. And we is about to get this Red Sea parted, and we about to be on our merry way. When I read this, I'm really taken aback at this part in particular, because it was already ridiculous. But like, to see this life insurance thing, I'm like, no. Every time I watch one of these crime shows, the life insurance comes into play. People are crazy. His own mother has stated that she wouldn't tell him how much her life insurance is worth because she's afraid that he'll get her whacked. I'm laughing, but like, well, now I was on that same time. That's the type of time that I was on. I was scared poopless, and I'm like, yeah, no. If anybody's gonna be the irrevocable beneficiary, it's gonna be my mother. Hell, I'll even put my own father. I'm not putting this man. No, you is not about to benefit off of my death. I am worth more dead than alive at that point, okay? And that's just not a thing. Keep in mind that one of the reasons that I was so eager to move was because I had already been living in fear. I had my cameras outside of the house. I had my Ring doorbell. I had parked my car in the garage every single day because I didn't want anybody to know whether I was home or not. Lived in a constant state of paranoia and anxiety once I had left my ex and my restraining order went into play. The restraining order actually caused more anxiety than anything. Even though I encouraged people to get it, I'm just like, it really did cause a lot of anxiety because I wasn't dealing with a normal person or a normal situation, and I knew that the things that I did were angering my ex. But I also knew I needed to be strong because I had already lived in enough fear in the home. Now he's out of the home and I'm still living in fear. Like, I had to choose a side, you know? So because I had spent the last 10 years listening to him bragging and boasting and bigging up the crimes, the home invasions, the gun stuff, all these things, because I had spent 10 years listening to that, and I had met his friends. I had been in the room with his friends while their guns are on the table. I seen his gun when he had one. Like, he used to make me carry it in my purse. So it's just like, I already know that he has access to get whatever he wants if he wants to do that. Because he wasn't paying me any money helping me with the kids, I don't know if he's stacking his $2,000 so that he could go buy a freaking gun. I don't know what he's doing, okay? So at that point, I'm scared. I also don't know if he's stacking his money to pay some idiot to come and disturb my peace at my home, because my ex knew where I lived, but I didn't really know where my ex lived at this point, right? So it was just like, I wasn't safe, and I knew I wasn't safe. And so even like Halloween night, when I was sat outside with my children on the porch giving out candy, I was scared. I was scared that somebody was gonna do a drive-by. Like, I didn't know what the hell to expect. I was terrified, you know? And I lived in this fear because he put it in me for 10 years straight about what he does, what he can do, what he's capable of, doing this crime and that crime. And so that, paired with how he treated our family, down to even my mom, okay, she's on the outside, and even she's getting treated like crap. So when that is paired with the fear that he was sprinkling, those seeds that he was watering over the years, baby, what the hell was I supposed to do? I would literally be studying the cars that would drive by on my Ring doorbell or on my security camera at the front of the house. I would be obsessed with checking the security cameras. And so even that caused more paranoia and anxiety. And I was just like, I can't live like this, because if I lived somewhere and he didn't have my address, I would be more comfortable. And so that's, you know, a big part of the reason why I was like, okay, I need to get serious about moving, because I was in denial. I loved my area that I lived in. I loved my house. Oh my God, I loved that house. On top of it being, you know, super expensive to live there. And, you know, by the grace of God, I was able to afford it by myself, which I didn't even, that was a miracle in itself, okay? Because when my ex was in the house, I was not making good money. When my ex left the house, baby, boom. Skyrocketed. Okay, that's what they were trying to get me for $1,900 of the child support. And when my ex left and I was able to maintain my lifestyle and had a savings account, I'm like, are you telling me that if I had got rid of this man sooner, I would have been further ahead in life? Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I should have listened in 2020. I should have followed my spirit back then. So I'm like, oh no, ma'am, I can't live like this. And so despite the fact that I loved Stittsville, I loved my house, all these things, I couldn't live in that constant paranoia. I couldn't stay in a house where I'm scared that me and my children are going to be hurt by some random man from Toronto coming to get the job done. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't live like that. So of course I start trying to do things in my own strength. It's not working. And so I just start praying like, God, what direction are you leading me in? Like, where am I going? What is happening? And instead of following my own self, I start following God, and he leads me 1,888 miles away from Ottawa, which is obviously here in Jamaica. Fast forward, y'all see the drama unfold, okay? Some of it was in real time, some of it was a little delayed, but y'all see it. My ex is online doing the most, going crazy. I disappear for 2 months. I don't tell anybody anything. I talk to no one. I am losing a lot in this time, but God was like, do you trust me? And I'm like, I trust you, Dad. Please, Lord. I trust you, but it's taking a little while here because I'm like, when am I going to get back to work, God? And he's like, are your bills paid, ma'am? I said, yes. Are you hungry? I said, no. Are your kids hungry? No. Are y'all all right? I said, yes. He said, okay, then shut up. I said, okay. All right. I'm not going to ask you no more. Of course, when I do pop back up, my ex, of course, pops back up as well to wreak havoc. I dropped 2 videos back to back. I dropped the mugshot makeup video, and then I dropped the I lost custody to a confessed killer via the parental alienation claim. Well, after I dropped those videos, God let me know the warfare is not over. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of figured, but at the same time, when is it going to be over? I was tired, but like God's strength was made perfect in my weakness. So despite the fact that I was tired, despite the fact that I was like, I can't fast anymore, Lord. Like, I've been fasting, I've been praying, I've been doing everything you said to do. I've been obedient. I'm not seeing the fruit. Where's the fruit? Mango season is over. Like, I need the fruit. I need the word that you spoke to me on January 22nd, 2023 to come to pass, because that's what you told me. I'm waiting. What is this waiting? This is too much. Like, I'm like, God, you said something to me, and I know you said it, okay? You have confirmed it to me a million times. Why hasn't it come to pass yet? What's going on with tea? Like I said, the warfare was not over. And so I was actually fasting, minding my business, okay? And this was on a Wednesday afternoon. I was sitting on the couch, okay, scrolling my phone. My head is down. My mom's watching a TV show, but like, I'm not paying no attention to TV. I didn't look at TV not one time. My mom gets up, and I guess she wasn't really like into the show, so like she was taking long to come back. So she gets distracted. She's doing stuff around the house, and I'm like, I look at the couch and I'm like, oh, Mom didn't come back yet. But I just go back into my phone. Okay, well, a little bit more time passes, and I just happen to glance up at the screen, and I see a tombstone on the screen with my ex's name on it, his first name. And when I see it, I'm like, it was another one of those eerie feelings, like the hairs on the back of my neck stood up again. But not because of the tombstone, just the name, right? Seeing his name on the screen at the time that I looked up. Especially because it wasn't a death show, it wasn't a like murder show, it was a show about real estate. And so I guess the B-roll on that show was showing like stuff in the neighborhood, and so they passed through a cemetery, I guess, and so the name flashed on the screen. Now this was like maybe the 3rd time for the day that something was pointing into the direction of my ex, and I'm like, okay, God, what are you trying to say to me? Like, why do you keep bringing this person up? Like, I am fasting. I don't want to think about this person. Like, what's going on? I'm minding my business. And so fast forward to maybe, I'm going to say 2 hours later, something crazy is going down on my phone. This something crazy is another video for another day. Okay, girl, but I got hit back to back with the craziness over the last 3 weeks. And I will detail those things on another day, okay? But it required me to do some investigating, okay? And so God, like I said, had signaled me maybe 3 separate times that day that my ex was coming to stir up trouble. And I'm like, really? What now? I'm not feeling like it today, Lord. And he was just like, well, I've warned you, so just be calm. It is what it is. Don't freak out. Don't have no anxiety about it, because I'm telling you ahead of time that it's going to happen. And I don't want you to lose yourself or come out of your skin when you see it. And so I'm like to God, all right, cool. So like I said, It is Wednesday afternoon. It is Wednesday, November 15th to be exact. Based on what was happening on my phone, or the notifications that I was getting to my phone, I was like, oh hell no, let me open my banking app real quick. Well, when I opened my banking app, out of the blue, why do I see a $1 e-transfer in there from my ex-husband? I said, what the freak is this? What is he doing? Why is he sending me $1? I'm gagged. I'm like, $1. So I opened the damn e-transfer and I'm like, I have auto deposit. So if you send me money, it's gonna directly go into my bank account, I think, unless my card is locked, which at the time my card was not locked. When I opened this $1 e-transfer and I see the message he attached to it, because obviously I have no contact with my ex, okay? The only contact that I've had with this man is if he is online saying stuff and people screenshot it and send it to me. That is the only like time I see this person. So he sends me a message attached to this $1 e-transfer, okay, literally $1. And the message said, you're currently wanted Canada-wide, and Interpol and RCMP are looking for you. I suggest you contact them. He spelled "you're" wrong, but he never been a good strong speller chess. We're just gonna leave that alone. But that's what the message said attached to the $1 e-transfer. And so at this point, I'm like, sir, please hang it up flat screen. Like, how many times are you gonna say the same thing? It's giving broke the record. It really is. And so I'm like, oh my God, not this again. And so obviously God had warned me, like, he was warning me all day, like, your ex is coming, your ex is coming, your ex is coming. But I didn't know how, right? And so keep in mind, like I said, it was Wednesday. And so he never sent it on the Wednesday. He actually, I think, sent it on, I think, 2 days before, but I never saw it until the Wednesday because he sent it to a bank account that I don't use. So like there would have been no reason for me to go in there. And so I never saw it when he sent it. I saw it on the Wednesday. And so obviously you guys know I get spiritually attacked on Wednesday. Shout out to Wednesday, okay? But reclaiming my time, okay? And so you know, we be rebuking the demons, the witches, the warlocks, all them things, okay? No weapons formed against me shall prosper. I am blessed and highly favored. I am covered by the blood of the Lamb, baby. Mr. Untouchable. Okay, that's what it's giving. Okay, so yes, I get this $1 e-transfer, and yes, it says all these things, and yes, I'm like, is this man serious? But at that point, I had bigger fish to fry based on the notifications that I was getting to my phone. Okay, so I didn't really care about this $1 e-transfer, but I was sat there thinking, like, this man really went out of his way to send me $1 e-transfer so that he could text me. But you know how sad that is? Because in 2 years, he's not sent me $1 for my children. He has sent me $0.00. When I first left this man, we agreed that he would pay $500 for 3 kids. Okay, $500 between 3 children, that's $166 per child. At the time, Nola was in diapers and wipes. Okay, this is a fully potty trained child now. So diapers and wipes is very expensive, and you know, I had a million bills to pay by myself. He was not helping me with anything once we broke up, because that was part of my punishment for leaving. This is the financial abuse, right? And so I'm paying the $3,000 rent by myself. I'm paying the hydro, gas, internet, water. I'm paying all of the bills by myself. That's another like $700 in bills. I'm then paying my car note by myself, which was another $800, and then I was paying the car insurance, which was another $200. This is monthly, baby. And so all of those things, and then groceries for 3 children, and he was giving me not $1, but would send me $1 to try to torment me and tell me that I'm a wanted woman. No, pack it up, okay? This is crazy. And so I'm like, oh my God, what did I get myself into messing with this male monster? Like, where did they do this at? I have never seen anything like this in my life. And quite frankly, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy, baby. The only reason that I am still ticking is because of my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, okay? So, you know, he Romans 8:28 me down, and that's really all I can say about that, because who he called, he also justified. So, I mean, it's above me now. Like, I don't know what to say, but to send your ex-wife $1 Canadian. Okay, he didn't even give me a US dollar so that I could at least go to the McDonald's and get me a little value menu sandwich. Shout out to McDonald's one time, because ain't no McDonald's in Jamaica, okay? But like literally, he didn't even send me $1 USD. He sent me $1 Canadian. That's worth nothing. Okay, I can't even buy anything at Dollarama for $1 Canadian. Not even at Dollarama. Clock it. I can't even do one thing with this dollar. That $1 can't even afford me anything in Jamaica. And they said that this is a third world country. Keep your $1, sir. We never needed it. Okay, like this is crazy. The irony in the affidavit being lines 8 to 15 straddled with nonsense is that in Psalms 91 verses 8 to 15, well girl, read about it, go read it. But line 8, which is where the affidavit starts to go left, is only with your eyes will you see the reward, as it really says punishment, but we'll say reward, the reward of the wicked. Okay, and so I just think it's so funny that the affidavit starts to go left between 8 and 15, and in Psalms 91 verses 8 to 15 it talks about punishment of the wicked and also how God will be protecting his children. And so I thank God daily for the protection, the hedge of protection that he has over my life, my children's life, my mom's life. You know, this situation is crazy, and I'm always taking you guys through it with me. You know, that's really the only thing I know how to do, and I'm truly blessed that you guys are so gentle with me, you know, and also you guys are always uplifting me in prayer. And you know, the girls that get it, and the girls that don't, take it up with Jesus. But like, I'm just so I guess humbled by the fact that you guys understand my situation for what it truly is. Listen, there's 3 things that I do daily. I give thanks and praise, I repent daily, and I forgive daily. And so as much as my ex has sought to be the devil himself, to be him, to be seeking to steal, kill, and destroy me, I have to forgive him, because I know that he doesn't know what he be doing. He's just operating in pure lunacy based on the title of this video. Obviously, things get worse, because what if I told you that the $1 that my ex sent was a lot more sinister than it actually seemed? What if I told you that it was a part of a bigger scheme, a bigger plot, plan? What if I told you that on November 25th, exactly 10 days after the last incident, which was November 15th, and exactly 30 days before Christmas, what if I told you that my ex went back into that same account and helped himself to my money? What if I told you? Find out next time on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.